Hello and welcome to the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix Qualifying Watchalong powered by the Intermission Sports. My name is Sam Donzik. I'm your host for today. Welcome alongside myself, and we are back. F1 is back, and we are racing in Imola around the Autodromo Enzo de Dino Ferrari. I believe it's the Imola circuit, as most people call it, but the official name is it's a super long name, but we just call it Imola for short. But as cars make their way out for the start of Q1, my bad, Q1. I just think it's interesting that they start with Q1 and they go to Q3 at the end, when really it should be backwards. But George Russell is making his way out as green flags are being flown. Now, what's interesting, obviously, his practice was very wet this morning. There was a lot of cars sporting wet tires and intermediate tires, but still, as it seems right now, I don't know if updates are made. It has stopped raining as of right now, but I think cars are going out with they're going out with intermediate tires here. Obviously, as the track is not fully dried yet. As George Russell makes his way out on track, and as we pull up our live ticker alongside here, we can see all the cars making their way around the track here. Oh, why is it zoomed in so much? So obviously Lando Norris, Sebastian Vettel, interesting enough, going on the soft tires, as well as Lance Stroll and as well as Zhao Guanyu there. So I think there are some dry lines to look for as drivers make their way, but most drivers are sporting the intermediate tires, as again the track is not fully dried out as Q1 is underway here. 16 minutes left here in Q1. So a lot of interesting talking points this weekend. Obviously, some teams have made some upgrade changes. Notably, AlphaTauri is spotting with a new change with the new floor for Pierre Gasly. I believe from Mercedes is bringing a new rear ring that they were trying to get in Australia, but it did make it. So I think it is here in Imola. So that'll be interesting to see as Hamilton takes his first flying lap around the circuit on the intermediate tires. Car is bouncing all about in the sparks. Should be very interesting. I mean, as we saw in FP1, the first practice and only session that we got to see this morning in terms of timing was the fact that the Ferraris were flying. Max Verstappen was way behind, but 1.4 seconds off the pace. Again, that was on a very wet track this morning. But regardless, Carlos Sainz was even 0.8 off of his teammate Charles Leclerc. So Charles Leclerc was flying. Charles Leclerc is flying this week. Leclerc is flying this weekend, and it should be super interesting to see what happens if he can get pole position on home soil, which I wouldn't be surprised. Not home soil, but home soil for his team at least. Now George Russell has gone purple in the first sector, beating out Hamilton's time. Hamilton is green in the first sector right now. Russell currently purple. Hamilton goes purple sector 2, obviously, because he's the only one on track. Let's see if Russell can again get another green in the second sector. So Hamilton with a perfect purple second purple, and obviously across the line with a 1:27.214. It annoys me that this is quicker than the stream. I mean, it is what it is. So George Russell 0.8 off the pace, as you can see from his teammate. Again, sporting the inter tires with a 1:27.214, not bad. As Verstappen is not making his time lap, he's probably on his out lap, trying to get out of his way here. Hamilton crosses the line, now with the 1:27.214. It's a little bit delayed. It's very delayed here. Valtteri Bottas goes second fastest, though, 0.2 off the pace on the soft tire. So interesting enough that a Mercedes still somehow is faster than, I mean, it makes sense. It's Mercedes versus a Alfa Romeo, but that is surprising because it is a Ferrari-powered engine unit, so you think that they would be doing well on a soft tire, but clearly the grip is not all there. Now, interesting enough, obviously, Carlos Sainz, but he's getting out in the soft tire, as we can see, as well as Charles Leclerc going out in the soft tire compound. So Ferrari going a bit aggressive, similar to Alfa Romeo there, going with a bit of a softer compound versus mostly everyone else who's going out on the intermediate tires. As again, the track begins to dry more and more, we will probably see, as Vettel goes quickest with a 1:26. Now Lance Stroll with a 1:23.419. 3 seconds, again, 3 seconds quicker than Vettel's time somehow. So again, this track is going to get drier and drier as cars go out on track. And I think by the end of Q1, we're definitely going to see most drivers and most teams sporting the soft tire, which would make sense because the track is going to continue to get more dry, which means cars will be able to get more traction on pace. You can see already Stroll 3 seconds quicker than Vettel's time with a 1:23.419. But again, Perez and Verstappen on the inter tires goes second quickest with a 1:25.515. So Red Bull playing it safe so far. I thought they would be aggressive, like they would follow Ferrari's suit, but Ferrari's plan, but they are not doing that. So stream's a very laggy bit today, and now it's frozen. Stream is very laggy. This is annoying. I have to make sure I close some apps. Focus Teams is open. As it stands right now, Lance Stroll quickest on the soft tire as it stands. Valtteri Bottas second quickest there, already beating Verstappen's time on the soft tire. Trying to load up the stream again. Laptop's currently having a bit of an aneurysm. Yeah, this stream is so laggy right now. I don't know. Oh, Albon. Oh, and we've got a red flag. Of course, my laptop had to just crap out at the wrong time. So it looks like the session is stopping because there is something seriously wrong with Albon's tire, their right rear tire. It is, I don't know if it's like not secured, if it's just really, really loose, but it is barely holding on, as you can see. This is starting to bother me. What Wi-Fi are we on? Okay, not on the proper Wi-Fi. Plug this in. Oh my god, we're gonna close this. So as we can see here, Lance Stroll right now going quickest, but there's a red flag as Alexander Albon was having some issues with his right rear tire, not wanting to cooperate and just not wanting to stay on. So close all these tabs. I have like so many things open. Okay, that should help it. Oh, 8 minutes into our stream and we're already having issues. Gotta love it, you know. Just Wi-Fi is not wanting to be on our side today. I mean, even though I'm hardwired to the internet, but still my computer's just having some issues here. Okay, hopefully that fixes it. Maybe. Oh, it's still wanting to be slow as donkey. Alrighty, as we continue to stream here, just bear with me here. Oh, of course, my Wi-Fi is that connection is unstable. If you're, I'm not on Wi-Fi right now. I'm literally hardwired to the internet. Oh my god, no, it's just my laptop being. This is very annoying. I'm so sorry, everyone watching. The one person watching. Oh, there we go. Now it's good. Now it's okay. That's good. My Wi-Fi just was being a little bit dumb there, so I do apologize for that. Anyways, now back to try to find the stream here. Oh, but I mean, it should be interesting. It should be great qualifying. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how quickly this track can dry up and what will happen with that, because I think that as it stands, we didn't get a true test of the pace that cars were on, especially compared to with the Ferraris, the Red Bulls, the Mercedes, where each team is at, based on the fact that right now it's just very tough to tell. But I mean, the track is starting to dry up. We're starting to get a little more pacier, each team, you know, trying new things and trying to get the full advantage out. So we will probably start to see the true pace of every car, including the Red Bulls, Ferraris, and all those other teams as well. Mercedes, McLaren, AlphaTauri. But based on what we saw in FP1, if the conditions were to stay the same and if they're continued to be raining all weekend, I would say, okay, Ferrari's got this along with, Haas, because Haas was looking really strong in FP1. They were like 4th and 5th, just behind Verstappen, who finished 3rd. So, okay, can we load up the stream, please, so I can watch the F1? That would be nice. Sometimes we can't always have nice things, Sam. So, you know what? I need a new laptop, I think. This thing is like cooking right now. If I had a PC, this would be fine. I could alrighty. Here we go. Taking forever to load up. I don't know. My laptop is just having some issues right now. Clearly, it's going through some things. I don't even know what's happening because I can't even load the stream up because it's just taking some time. So bear in mind. But you can see obviously as the screen right now. I think it's still red flagged for a little bit longer, up until they get the all the Check, check, 1, 2, 3. Check, check, 1, 2, 3. I'm so sorry for this. Is usually not happening. I usually have this all organized, but I guess for some reason my sound is really laggy. It seems, and it's really quiet. So, I don't know. It doesn't seem to want to work now. Oh, don't you just love this so much? I do apologize for you guys watching. Okay, now it's working perfect. Okay, it's still really laggy right now, so we're just gonna hope for the best. I'm gonna try to get something up and running so you guys can see the live leaderboard as well, as much as watching, because I'm gonna try to watch along on F1 TV if it will load, but I don't think it will because my laptop is just currently not wanting to work at all and is at like 100 degrees right now, like a fighter jet. Because thank you Apple for making a laptop that can barely stream something. Like I'm literally on StreamYard looking up one other tab, two other tabs. Like, come on, gotta love it, Apple. It's my own fault. And well, I guess we wait for the stream to load up it and give it a second to think. We can try to. Actually, I don't even want to try to open up another tab, but I will do it anyways because we're gonna live dangerous here. We're gonna take a leap of faith here. Live beta board. Well, I appreciate you guys sticking with me and watching through the pain of my suffering of this stream, but you guys getting a good laugh out of it. Hopefully, enjoying yourself on this Friday morning. It's on a Saturday. It feels like a Saturday morning because qualifying is usually on a Saturday, but today it's on a Friday because it's a sprint weekend. So, actually, while we're waiting for this whole thing to load, let's talk about the sprint weekend, the sprint format. I just want to know because, I'm just curious, what I think about the new format. I think it's good because what it does is it makes these weekends super valuable to championship contenders because people like Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz. Well, Max Verstappen's not really in the fight, but George Russell, who's in P2, Carlos Sainz, Lewis Hamilton, Sergio Perez, who are kind of all in the title fight, along with Max Verstappen, who's somewhat there, but not really. He's been having some massive reliability issues. It's like Max Verstappen, if he can put together a good weekend, get an extra 7-8 points here, on top of potentially finishing in the top three, like winning the race on Sunday, which is highly unlikely because most likely it's going to be a Ferrari. Let's be realistic here. I know I'm a Red Bull fan, but it's got to be realistic sometimes. So in terms of that aspect, it's just I think when you look at that, I think it's good because what it does is it allows certain drivers to get back in the championship fight or to extend the championship fight even more as much as they can. So that's what I'm just kind of looking forward to with these new sprint formats. But I think they have to really, hopefully, provide some better racing. And hopefully, I think the new points format is super important. I think it's good that they did because before sprint races were the top three were just 3, 2, 1. It'd be 3 points, 2 points, 1 point, which isn't a lot. But the top 8 finishers now getting points it's a huge bonus, which is a good change that they added in. And again, my laptop is the stream is frozen. Okay, we're not going to worry about that for right now. I'm going to try to just get the live leaderboard up because the F1 app is just not wanting to work. And my stream is, again, being very laggy, as I can see as I'm talking. And it's just very slow. So we're just going to let it think for a second and let it reboot a bit. And then once we have that, then maybe we can try to get things in order. But as it stands right now, thank you guys for still watching. Appreciate it. Let's see if we can actually load up here. Okay, F1. Just pull up the live leaderboard. Maybe I should start a GoFundMe for a new laptop. That's what I should do, honestly. I need a new laptop. Start a GoFundMe, so that Sam can stream at a higher quality. Now it's working okay. I'm talking fast. I'm talking normal. So I think it's getting better, Liam, it seems, hopefully. Maybe the first little bit was just everyone was on the Wi-Fi this morning and just was, it doesn't matter. But regardless, the new sprint formats are exciting. It's not super, but the new sprint adding the new details with adding the points, I think will be super exciting for the 3 or 4 races that we have it on the calendar year, which will be interesting to see what happens. And who can really benefit most from these sprint races? What will come out of it? I think if you're Max Verstappen or if you're a George Russell, you're kind of a person who's kind of been dominated by Ferrari so far. Like Charles Leclerc right now, 71 points. He's 30 plus points clear of a massive gap. I think 36 points clear of George Russell right now, who's in P2 as it stands right now. If you look at the standings, So when we look at that aspect, it's like for him, this weekend is big for George Russell fighting for the championship. I think realistically, Mercedes are now fighting for the championship. Obviously, at the beginning of the season, they weren't really doing it, but now as it stands, they're definitely going for it because with Red Bull's reliability issues, and like Red Bull reportedly has it fixed, but again, if they continue to have these issues, which I have a feeling they will continue to do at certain tracks, then Mercedes can kind of sneak in there and say like, hey, we'll fight for P2, like how Red Bull is doing, and Ferrari maybe will kind of be the new Mercedes of this new era. I have a feeling they will because they nailed these regulations perfectly. So I think they did a really great job at designing a very fast car with these new regulations and a super reliable car. That's important as well, fast and reliable. That's the one thing that Ferrari, like Mercedes has a slow, reliable car. Red Bull has a super fast car that's not reliable. And then Ferrari's like, hey, we did both, everyone. Like, it's not really that hard. But I mean, I guess some teams struggled with it. So we'll have to see what happens if the new changes are coming about as the season goes on, and what changes, what will happen, because obviously teams are going to bring upgrades again. Like every team does this every season. Like they slowly bring upgrades at every few races as it stands right now. So as Q2, I think end of Q1, we didn't even see who made it out of Q1 because we missed it because my laptop was having issues. So. Having issues again with the stream. It's getting better, but we've loaded up the live timing. Oh my god, this is so annoying. This is just so slow, and it is very, very annoying. Very, very annoying. This is interesting. I did not see this. There's the live timing as we can see. So as it stands right now, who did make it out of Q1? So yeah, let's just look at that here as we can see if it's going to let me load. It's barely working on its own right now. This is very slow. Please bear in mind. Okay, I think we've got it now open. We can see, obviously. Oh, nope, never mind. There we go. Okay, as we can see now, it's slowly working. It's getting there. Live timing is going out. So Charles Leclerc signs Lando Norris top 3, Verstappen 4th, Alonso, Zhao Guan Yu or Guan Yu Zhou, Daniel Ricciardo, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Bottas, Perez down at P11. You hate to see it. That's tough to watch there. Obviously, Sergio Perez having a tough season so far with the Red Bulls not being super reliable. Lance Stroll not having a great session. Neither Pierre Gasly, Schumacher, George Russell, and Hamilton, 15th and 16th. Wow. Tough session for, again, I think this is now the start of Q2, I would assume. So this is probably, people are just going on in their time lapse. So I don't think this is actually, let's see if we can actually get the actual stream up again just to see what's going on. Also, this usually isn't the right tab that I'm looking at. It's usually a different tab for the live streaming. So we're going to actually just bear in mind for one more second. Just going to properly get this sharing tab working. Oh, could you just work, please? For the love that's all holy. No, you don't want to work. You wanna be an annoying little brat, do you? Of course you do. Latifi, of course, sliding onto the grass once again. When is he not sliding onto the grass? That's the question. When he's not driving, I guess, probably. That's once he's not driving. Live Q1. Yeah, Q1 is just finishing up. Oh, Max Verstappen goes P1, 119.295 on the soft tire. So the track is getting super dry. Oh, for Charles Leclerc goes quicker with a 118.796 here. So it is starting to heat up here. Like, all I ask is for this thing to work properly so that you guys can enjoy a good stream and that I can give you guys a good stream and you guys can actually enjoy this. But clearly, both of us are not enjoying this. So, I mean, you probably enjoying this because you're lapping, having a good time. But who knows? We'll have to see. Oh, this is so annoying. I apologize. Hopefully for our pre-race show Sunday morning, this is much more better and I will have it fixed by then. And yeah, it will be fixed for sure. So. Oh, who's at the door now? I'll be right back. I have to just come in. Yeah, he's not in there anymore. Just housekeeping here. I guess we're just getting the full experience here. Oh, of course it's not. Maybe it's gonna load. Maybe it's gonna load. You're probably gonna hear some sound soon once the thing clicks on here. Oh my god, this is usually not this bad. I don't know what it is, but clearly my laptop is just not having it today. It is just not having it today. Not having a good time today. Not having a good time today. Okay, let's see if we can actually... No, do not connect to the guest Wi-Fi. Hamilton is through into Q2 by 0.004. Holy, that is a very close, small margin. So clearly right now, Mercedes is struggling around Imola here, even on the soft tires. So clearly they don't have the paces compared to Red Bull or Ferrari. Okay, we're just going to, for now, we're just going to close this. Just for I think the sake of the stream, we're going to try to, as much as we can, we'll just give you updates as I can. And then I'll just follow along on my phone. Maybe that would be better. So as it stands right now, Q1 is done. Leclerc, Verstappen, Sainz, Zhou Guanyu, Perez, Ricardo, Magnussen, Norris, Alonso, Stroll, your top 10. Vettel, Russell makes it in P12. Bottas, P13. Schumacher, 14. And Hamilton just squeaks in by P15. So both Mercedes just squeaking in, and the Red Bulls are up there along with the two Ferraris are up top with the lone Red Bull. But Alfa Romeo, Zhou Guanyu, the rookie, showing strong here. Obviously tough break for Alex Albon. Not really the weekend he wanted, obviously, but it is what it is, and sometimes you just got to roll with the punches. So what can you do? So I'm gonna set this up properly so that I can. There we go. I think just for the sake of this, we're just going to run this for now because clearly my laptop does not want to cooperate. So I do apologize for. Usually we have the live leaderboard up, but if we can get that up again, that would be nice. But as it stands, my phone's going to keep vibrating now because. Ooh, yeah, lots of sparks. So I appreciate you, Jake, for continuing to watch. I know you're probably watching at home thinking, oh my God, Sam's just having some issues here. But I appreciate you sticking with me through all the pain and suffering that my stream has had for today. So Sunday morning, we will be back and we'll be better than ever. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be the best. You don't want to miss it for our pre-race show. And then also you can listen to our podcast Tuesday. It will be coming out. We'll be talking about this race. We'll be talking about the NASCAR race. Any other motorsport news, obviously, which will be happening every Tuesday starting from now on. So again, just a little update as we're still waiting, or as we're waiting for Q2 begin, kind of going forward in terms of things of how we're going to run things. We will be doing basically a weekend warm-up type show before practice even begins, kind of to preview the whole weekend. We'll be in our qualifying stream, which we'll do every weekend. We'll do a pre-race show, and then we'll record a podcast as well. We'll put a podcast out, like basically a post-race podcast. Review analyst and analyzing the race analyst. So that'll be super exciting, and just kind of stay along for that. You guys can follow us at Outside the Cockpit, follow us at Intermission Sports. Visit theintermissionsports.com for lots of content, motorsport content coming out, lots to come out this year, lots to talk about, obviously with the new regulations and the new season. Be super exciting. So I just realized I forgot. It is Friday, so the cleaners are here. But all right, qualifying Q2 is set to begin hopefully soon. So for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, I love saying that. Very fancy. The Rolex Gran Premio del Made in Italy. They always have long super names for like Grand Prix, but no one calls it like. Whenever David Crofty or the announcer, it's like, welcome to the Australian Grand Prix, welcome to the British Grand Prix. It's not like the Rolex Grand Prix because they don't name all the sponsors and stuff like that. So. But regardless, Hamilton squeaks into Q2 just by a very slim margin by 0.004 seconds, which will be super exciting because Hamilton then on the radio said, how far are we off? That's crazy. So clearly he's not happy with the pace, and he's just super shocked with how far they are off the pace, considering they were looking decent in Australia, but maybe this new rear wing upgrade isn't the best for Imola when you look at the circuit. Again, certain cars will do better. Like the Ferrari is a super fast car all around. And it'll be super exciting. It'll be really exciting to see what happens. Who can take pole position? Will Charles Leclerc continue to dominate this season? It'd be great to see him win a championship because he is, I think, one driver that is really trying to prove it. Because, he's been in F1 for a number of years, hasn't really won a lot of races. Obviously, Ferrari's given him a decent car, but he's been in certain situations where he's been able to win races. He's been on pole position, but then he's kind of struggled to finish and to get to that next level. And I think this is the season where he gets to that next level and where he pushes up and beyond. Okay, it seems my stream is running pretty smooth now for a couple minutes, so we're gonna hope and pray that if we can click here. No, it's gonna still I can tell based on how laggy it's being. Okay, well, we're still gonna try to go to f1.com and see if we can load up some things here, because hopefully that doesn't make things too laggy. No, it's already made things laggy. That's awesome. That's just fantastic. So clicking one more tab over. Oh, I have to see what's going on with my laptop because it's currently struggling right now. But yeah, let's see if we can at least get the live leaderboard rolling. We're just gonna let that slowly roll up. So I do apologize if that's gonna take some time. But as it stands right now, still waiting on to see what will happen. Carlos Sainz is going out now for Q2 as Q2 is underway. Carlos Sainz, the first car on track, making his way around the Autodromo Enzo de Nino Ferrari circuit. Very long name, or also known as Imola, as most people call it. Imola, as it's most known as most people call it. Okay, we're just gonna not worry about that because it is just not wanting to work. So right now it's just having some issues. Being very slow. I don't know why, but This is having an issue. Having so many issues right now. Okay, we're just gonna let it go. We're just gonna, as it is right now, just for bear in mind. Q2 is underway. Carlos Sainz is making a way around the circuit. Green in the first sector. Schumacher is also making his way around the track, as we can see here. Question is, who do you think will take pole position? Comment down below. Who do you think will take pole position? Will it be Leclerc? Will it be Verstappen? Sainz? Who will take pole position? Let us know. Let me know down below in the comments, and I'll post the comment up here, and we can see who has the most popular ones. I have a feeling Leclerc's going to be kind of the favorite. You know, he's been doing good so far this weekend. I just think it's interesting as well the fact that they've qualified on Friday, and then there's going to be another practice session tomorrow, and then there's the sprint race, which I guess then puts the car into Parc Ferme. I don't know if the car is in Parc Ferme or not. I can't remember if they put it in they put it into Parc Ferme for qualifying, and then they take it out for Parc Ferme for practice again. So to make some more changes, and then for the sprint race, like I think actually the so the car will enter Parc Ferme regulations this morning for qualifying. As Valtteri Bottas goes fourth fastest across the line. Alonso with a 1:19.595. Q2 green light. Verstappen goes quickest with a 1:18.793 here. So Sainz, a little bit off the pace here. Norris is 0.5 off the pace. Leclerc with a 1:19.584. So as it stands right now, Verstappen is the quickest man on track with a 1:18.793 here so far in Q2. Perez goes fourth fastest with a 1:19.296. Very close there between Hamilton and Russell. Very close contact between the two Mercedes drivers. Hamilton only goes 13th. Russell is 11th. So right now, as it stands, both Mercedes are, in the danger zone. And there is a Ferrari off right now. And that is Carlos Sainz not looking great. It's a red flag. So looks like his qualifying day will be over. That is a huge loss for Ferrari there. Was running really well, honestly. Was running up in P2, looking strong. I don't know if they'll be able to repair that. It doesn't look like massive amount of damage, so they might be able to fix it so that he's able to make it into Q3 if his time stands, but it looks like it might. So the session will be red flagged anyway, so obviously they'll have some time to work on the car and fix up a bit. So it's not totally over, but a tough outing there, tough sight for Ferrari fans and the Tifosi there. Carlos Sainz is in the wall, and Ferrari fans look on in shock and disappointment there as he hits the BW2 barrier. Surprising AlphaTauri. I'm surprised Aston Martin hasn't crashed out yet, but there's Carlos Sainz just walking away. Let's see what happened here. Okay, went a little bit over the curb there. And then what else is happening? Then it's a very slow replay. Okay, here's the full speed thing. Let's see. Oh, yeah, he just lost it there, spun, and then he's done. Yeah, his suspension is I saw the replay now. Yeah, that is looks like that could potentially be day over for Carlos Sainz, depending on most likely it is day over, because I don't think by the time they're taking his car off, they won't have time to fix it. But yeah, it's red flagged, so that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate for him. He's running really well, honestly. You hate to see it, honestly. You really hate to see it, because he was looking really strong this weekend. And again, there's Carlos Sainz riding a scooter. I'm surprised Sebastian Vettel isn't driving that because you know how much he loved driving a scooter around in Australia. So maybe it is Sebastian Vettel in disguise. Who knows? Who knows? Q2 is stopped as, again, another red flag early on in the session. Again, that's 2 red flags now that we've had, both in Q1 and in Q2, and in multiple races, not even at this race, but even in Australia and then also Saudi Arabia. So the track is, it looks like, as of right now, I feel like there's still a few wet spots that drivers are hitting at a certain point and just losing the car. So important note there, as Hamilton and Russell 13th and 11th, or 11th and 13th as it stands right now. So we'll have to see. As looks like potential more rain is imminent. Coming and looking at the radar just from the Haas pit wall there, like potentially some more rain is inbound. It's still a very cloudy day here. Very interesting conditions, and what will happen? You know, will teams go back to the inter tires as more rain falls today? Because again, it was an 80% chance to rain for qualifying, but then the race, the race and the sprint race tomorrow and the Sunday race is sunny. It's super sunny. So just today is a bit of a rainy Friday afternoon in Imola. So, but as it stands right now, Verstappen is P1, Sainz second, Norris third, running well. Perez fourth, Leclerc fifth, Alonso, Magnussen, Vettel, Ricardo, Bottas, all your top 10 that would go into Q3. If for whatever reason Q2 would not resume, but I think they would definitely resume it because there's still 10 minutes left and lots of time. I would say they'll resume at 17:50 local time, which is in 5 minutes from now. So again, looking at the replay again, looking there, just I don't know. That was a pretty dry spot there. I think he just just a little bit too much on the throttle there, lost it in the corner, and that's bouncing around, and poof, yeah, both the rear and the front tire are dislodged. F1 cars are so fragile, man. I mean, I understand why they have to be fragile because they're like aerodynamically perfect. So it's just unfortunate because, you know, it'd be nice for an F1 car to be like take a hit like a NASCAR and just be able to rebuild it. But no, that is definitely day over for Carlos Sainz. I don't think they'll have time to fix it because in 5 minutes they're not going to repair that. So that is unfortunate for him. His day's over. If for whatever reason, I mean, most likely he'll just go down to P15 down at the end. If every driver pitches a better time than that, but it seems like more rain is going to hit, and yet people are bringing out the umbrellas, and it looks like it is going to start. It's starting to rain again, most likely, I think so. Potentially, inter tires will be back again. This is a very interesting qualifying session because it practice this morning was very wet, and then it started to dry up a little bit, and then teams were running the inter tires. They were getting a little bit quicker times, but now it's starting to rain again, and more rain is incoming. So most likely they'll be returning to the inter and wet tire compounds for qualifying. So certain drivers again will perform better than other drivers, like as we seem to have here, known as certain drivers do better in the wet than in the dry. Valtteri Bottas not really known as a good wet driver in the wet, but maybe that will change. His fortunes will change with Alfa Romeo, being at Alfa Romeo, as we're now talking with Pierre Gasly on there's the pit wall, the Red Bull pit wall, the shot of the Aston Martin of Sebastian Vettel. So yeah, I don't know. It seems like the track's really dry still. I don't know if teams will put on the inter tires because there is a super dry line right now that I think they'll continue to go. But it is starting to rain more and more, as you can see on the screen here. Not on the screen. You can probably see it if you're watching at home. People are pulling their umbrellas out, and they are trying to stay nice and dry. So Q2, the red flag is removed, so as they're going to get going in the next 2 minutes, obviously it will resume. We'll have to see what happens here, if we can, what will happen. But regardless, it's 11:48, and Q2 is still underway. So the rain has arrived. Yes, it has. It is raining more and more. So teams will definitely be switching to the inter tires potentially. The question is, are there any teams that are going to be bold enough to stick with the soft tires or the medium tires? But more rain, as you can see, based on the radar, is incoming. So people with the fancy hats, the rain hats, and I always love people seeing like those little hats and whole umbrella hats. So as people look on, this is giving like Spa 2021 vibes, but not as bad though. So actually, knock on wood, knock on wood. So Spa 2021 vibes. So the same effect as we can see, but so tough day for Mercedes though. 13th and 15th not running. Oh, sorry. So 11th and 13th not really running well for them. Unfortunate to see because it's good to have a couple teams are competitive, and obviously Mercedes was up there in Australia, but I guess they just don't have the pace this weekend around Imola. But Fernando Alonso, Alpine's looking really strong. So is McLaren. Lando Norris running P3, Daniel Ricciardo running P9. Not great, not terrible. Magnussen with Haas, P7, Alonso P6, Vettel P8. So at least for their level, Stroll down to P50, not running well, but so. Yeah. Canadian boy, Lance Stroll, one of the two Canadians on the grid, the more likable Canadian, at least. I mean, like, not everyone likes him, but I mean, like, I like him. He's proven to be more than a pay driver versus Latifi. Latifi is a pure pay driver, who barely has any skill. I mean, he has skill, but there's a huge skill gap between, the other drivers, which I think is just crazy because I think when you think about it, between the drivers between Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez, George Russell, and the other drivers on the grid like Charles Leclerc and then Carlos Sainz, and those top tier level drivers, those championship caliber winning drivers, those race winning drivers, versus a guy like Nicholas Latifi, Lance Stroll, other drivers that are considered to be paid drivers. And for me, it's just like Lance Stroll has earned himself to be more than a paid driver. He's had some success, he's proven himself to be a bit of a great challenger. But for me, Nicholas Latifi hasn't really proved it yet, and hopefully he will soon because, I'd love to see him do well. I always okay, green light, pit lane exit is open now. So Lando Norris, Captain Naka, 1.4 seconds. Yeah, he's 1.4 seconds clear. So 10 minutes to go in the session, ladies and gentlemen. 10 minutes to go here in Q2. The clock is running. Rain is starting to fall more and more down. Who will get pole position? Only time will tell. So as it stands, Verstappen P1, Sainz P2, but obviously Sainz's car is being carted off on the big truck there on the back of the truck, so he'll be out. Question is whether his time will be improved. If the Sanders, I think it'll be safe, and like it'll be weird because technically he didn't set he set a time in Q2. It's currently set at P2, but if it continues to rain more and more, teams are going to get slower times. So I don't know what really. That's the question. Actually, I think as it stands, he did set a time in Q2. I think the worst time that he can be starting at is he'll be starting 10th in Q3. He'll be starting 10th on the grid because he won't set a time in Q3. He can make it into Q3, but he will not set a time. So mostly he'll be starting 10th on the grid, which isn't terrible, but it's not where obviously he wanted to be started, with the chance of potentially getting pole position or being on the front row with Verstappen or with his teammate Leclerc or maybe with Norris or Perez based on timing. But it is heavily starting to rain more and more. And this is now giving more Spa vibes. It is seriously heavily raining. Teams are definitely going to be switching to the inter tires for sure. As you can see, teams are switching up here as the track is going to start to get more and more wet here. So I don't think any teams, or if at all, any teams will be running soft tires or any medium tires, any slicks. They'll definitely be running intermediate compound or the wet tire, even if needed. So, which will make for. I always love when qualifying's in the wet because it brings out certain drivers that we don't really get to see often. It's a good equalizer, but also I think that it just changes. It changes things up a bit, obviously, because like Mercedes now struggling in the rain a bit here, not doing great. So as it stands, we'll have to see if that can change or not as Q2 is underway. Okay, now that it's running for a little while, let's see if I can. Now let's see. Okay, no, it's still being laggy, but we're gonna go with it. We're just gonna roll with their punches and see if we can load up here F1.com to pull up the live timing at least. Yeah, that's a good sign. It's loading a little bit quicker. Actually, I got a good idea. If we're not using this, let's slow down the laptop a bit. Not slow down, let's speed up the laptop, sorry. And my laptop has gone dark. No, oh, there we go. Now we're back. I just thought we don't need the second screen if we're not going to use it because I'm watching that on my phone here. So, Q2 is underway as cars make their way out onto track. So we'll have to see what can happen here. Okay, now oh, look at that. It's loading. It's actually, wow, that's surprising. It is running smoothly. Of course, now it only works at the end of my stream, near the end of my stream. Now it wants to work. Okay, we've got a visible timing table as it stands right now. So we're stopping right now, as we can see. So you can see there, right there. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. We've got it working. We've bear in mind. Thank you for bearing in mind through all of this. We've got everything sorted now. Our streams to be running a bit of a higher quality now, the proper quality, and it is super wet outside now on the track. It looks like as rain continues to fall. Q2 is underway, but not many cars I've seen on track. Most cars are in the garage here. And it is looking super wet on the paddock, and looks like most teams will be switching to the Inter tires. So, yeah, look, Carlos Sainz purple in the third sector with a 26.266. Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. That's unfortunate. 5 minutes to go here in Q2, and not many cars are going out. I don't know if they're waiting for the rain to pass or what they're waiting for, but regardless, a lot of teams are still waiting in the garage, just waiting to go through. As we get a shot of Sebastian Vettel's helmet, wearing a white helmet with the Ukraine colors, the blue and yellow, which is obviously a lovely gesture from Sebastian Vettel. Always a class act in Formula One, always supporting different causes and showing where his support is. So it's great to see. Oh, Q2, 4 minutes to go and counting. And again, a lot of cars are waiting. I think they're just going to do one final lap here. So they're kind of are waiting, obviously. So waiting to see when the cars will go out here. And driver's getting out. So that's Lance Stroll is getting out of the car. I don't know if there's an issue, if he has to go to the bathroom, what's going on, but clearly something's they're doing some work on the Aston Martin, and I don't think he'll be setting a time for Q2. He'll just be happy with P15 as it stands, as the pace will not increase. But for other drivers like Fernando Alonso, they will continue to try to push for the best and look to get into Q3. As we see the blue and pink helmet and there's a shot of Max Verstappen looking on razor focus, looking to get pole position. So his first pole position of the year. Oh no, sorry. He didn't get pole position in Saudi Arabia. So was Sergio Perez. He got P4, but he won the race though. So alrighty, 3 minutes to go. It is starting to really rain on the circuit and outside, and again, no cars have left the garage yet. So still waiting on some movement, but there has been little to no movement. And we've got the first car going out, sporting the intermediate tires, which makes sense because the track is now super wet. It has been raining for the past couple of minutes here. So I think as it stands, most times will be set. I mean, because they were all set with the soft tires on a much drier track. So I don't think they'll be setting quicker times, if anything. Some teams might be able to set a quicker time or just kind of support because, again, as it stands right now, your time is set as it is, and it's perfectly fine the way that it stands. But as it stands, the elimination zone, Russell, Schumacher, Hamilton, Zhao Guanyu, and Stroll are out in they're going to be out of Q2 and will not make it to Q3. But that is, yeah, no, as it seems, Lewis Hamilton, yeah, working on the car. So I don't think they'll make a run here. They're pulling off what are they pulling off? They're pulling off a lot of stuff here, and they're working on some starting on Hamilton's car. Hamilton is 2 minutes to go, and he is nowhere to be seen with yeah, so I don't think they'll be making a push here for Q3 here, as Hamilton is out of the seat, P13 right now, far off the pace. They won't improve on their time, obviously, with the wet tires, so they're just going to take it as it is. So P3 for Lewis, P13 for Lewis Hamilton as it stands. We see, oh, this is super cool. The helmet can of Charles Leclerc as the water rains down on his helmet. Mode push here. Pushing as much as they can around the circuit here. See, in this case as well, it's like, you don't want to risk it because, if you spin off here like Carlos Sainz did, it's day over for you as well. So for Charles Leclerc, I mean, as much as I would want to be pushing as much as you can, but if no one else is going to set another faster lap time, and you're safe, with but I don't think he's as it's safe where he is right now, because I don't think he had set a time yet. So no, yeah, because he was down. Sorry, no, it's P5, it's P5. No, never mind. He's blind, can't see, but so. But yeah, no, as it stands right now, for Toto Wolff and Lewis Hamilton, it is a tough weekend, tough weekend for Mercedes. So, yeah, just far off the pace and not looking where they want to be. So, as we see a spraying Aston Martin now go for his time lap, most likely. Now around, Vettel is making his way around the circuit here as Q2 comes to an end. 20 seconds to go. So, making his way around the circuit. Yeah, I don't think any driver really be improving their time. Now, the question is for Q3, obviously everything will be reset. And then that's when, we'll really get to see the true pace. So, okay, George Russell is hopping back in his, no, he's getting out of his car now. So George Russell and Lewis Hamilton will start on Sunday, not 2 days, not tomorrow, but 2 days from now, with 11th and 13th on the grid, as it really is starting to pick up now and spray much more on the track. So Q3 will be super interesting to see what happens, who will get pole position. I think as it stands, it's a close battle really between Verstappen and Leclerc. Maybe Perez is up there along with Norris, looking really strong. Yeah, 17 seconds off the pace with a 1:36.761. That makes sense, obviously, because, yeah. So that is the end of Q2, and Mick Schumacher is out, which is unfortunate. Yeah, sucks to see. Unfortunate, but unable to make it into Q3. But Magnussen was able to make it into Q3, along with Verstappen, Sainz, Norris, Perez, Leclerc, Alonso, Vettel, Ricciardo, and Bottas. So obviously Carlos Sainz will start 10th on the grid most likely for Sunday's race, and everyone else can kind of jostle for position here in Q3, which will be just happening, I'm assuming 5-10 minutes probably from now, once they finish up Q2, and then another 5 or 10 minutes later their Q3 will begin, which will be another 10 minutes. So, but will hopefully be over soon enough and get on with it. So yeah, coming into the pits here, yeah, not even worth a lap really, because you slip out here, and you could potentially not make it into not have a good solid lap for Q3, right? So yeah, again, there's Lando Norris just going off right now as I say that, knock on wood. But I was telling you, it's not worth going out there, because if you slip. If you spin anyway and go into the wall like Carlos Sainz did, it's it's qualifying over for you, and you're going to be starting P9 or P10, whatever it is. So yeah, as we can see here, yeah, just losing a little bit. So the track is still starting to get much more wet, and drivers going to have to be super careful here in Q3 to see what will happen. Yeah, just lost a little oversteer there. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Max Verstappen, as it stands right now, is the quickest man on the track in P1 with a 1:18.793. But obviously, that will change as pole position for qualifying will be much different here in the rain. I would assume the pole lap can maybe be around a minute 33, a minute 32 if you're really pushing it and you can really find a great line, which some drivers can do in the wet, including Max Verstappen as one of the best wet drivers there is, or at least having skill. I don't know what it is. He just in the wet, he's just super aggressive. He's just as aggressive in the dry as he is in the wet. He's able to find certain lines that somehow nobody else can, or similar to Lewis Hamilton, you know. So that's some other great drivers, obviously Carlos Sainz, but also Charles Leclerc does pretty well. Sergio Perez, another great driver in the wet as well. George Russell did really well. Obviously, Spa 2021 put in a great lap in a Williams, but unfortunately, here with the Mercedes just struggling for pace and not really getting a good lap in. So as Q3 will begin soon as the mechanics start to put tires onto the driver's car. Tired. Need to eat something after this. Yeah, as they're showing the replay of Carlos Sainz spinning out into the wall again. That was on a somewhat dry track, and now this is a much more wet track. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. See what will go on, what will continue to happen, and what will progress here over the next 20 minutes here. 15-ish minutes for the end of Q3 and the end of qualifying. So and again, I think this is a huge weekend. Like for Max Verstappen right now, who's currently in P1 for Q2, if he can get pole position and he can win the sprint race, that will be huge in terms of getting back into this championship, getting this just in the first, the first step into getting back into this championship, because he's 46 points down of Charles Leclerc right now. So you get an extra 8 points, and then you get 25 this weekend. That's a good amount of points right there. That's 33 points right there versus, let's say, for example, let's say Charles Leclerc gets second or third, so like 18 or 15 points right there. So that's a solid gap there. Pretty much that's a 18-point plus margin that you're kind of building back up, in terms of his points. So like Charles Leclerc is going to get some points as well, but you're going to get a plus 18 there, which will move you up on the grid. So for Verstappen, it's a big weekend here. So interesting enough, as it stands right now, as Q3 begins, Verstappen running the soft tire compound, everyone else running inters. A few people, who are out. Vettel running, Magnussen running softs, and Ricciardo running softs. As it stands right now, I don't think if they've been updated or not, but as it stands, Verstappen running softs will be an interesting move from Red Bull. Very interesting move. I thought they would want to at least try the inters, considering how wet the track is starting to get, but maybe they'll switch that, and maybe it just hasn't been updated. But so Q3 set to begin very soon, within the next few minutes. So yeah, as you can see, inter tires here. Getting the drawstrings ready. Tires secured on the car. Taking the tire wheel now off. Getting it ready to go. Just covering it up. Keeping it cool. There's Daniel Ricciardo. 3 career poles for the man from the land down under in Australia. I might. Top of the morning. That's more British, but top of the morning. But and looks like we have potentially the first car out on track. Kevin Magnussen making his way out on track here. Waiting for the signal. Sporting the inter tires. Yeah, I don't think this is updated because clearly teams are not running the. Yeah, he's running the inter tires. So clearly, I think most drivers and most teams will. There is as well Charles Leclerc coming out on on the Inter tires. Yeah, now everything's updated. So Fernando Alonso, Bottas coming out. And waiting for the green light to begin. For the green light to go as Q3 is set to begin very soon. Waiting on the world to change. And there we go. Cars are out on track. So, yeah. So now it's been updated. Perez rocking the Inter tires as well, but Verstappen still showing the soft tires on, at least on here, but I'm sure that will update for sure. Because I know for sure they will not be running Inter tires, or they'll not be running soft tires based on how wet this track is. Now the question is, who can take pole position? Who will be fastest here? As we did get an early indication of this in FP1, where it was a fairly wet track, and Shaw's looked like was looking strong. Verstappen was looking up there, as well as Alonso. Magnussen was looking strong. Perez, Carlos Sainz, obviously unfortunate. He'll be starting P10 from the grid in Sunday's race, but still looking really strong as the two cars nearly collide there. Getting close, the Ferrari and the Red Bull of Sergio Perez and Charles Leclerc as they race down straight here. Just getting ready to start their timed lap. So, come on. There's Carlos Sainz looking on in the garage and staying nice and dry at least. Should be a good set. Oh, almost lost it there. A little bit loose there for Charles Leclerc. Yeah, driver's gonna have to be very, very careful as the spray. The track is much drier than I thought. So as Leclerc goes on the radio talking to his engineer there, here's a replay of Max Verstappen. Oh, yeah, losing it a little bit there. Drivers are going to have to, be super careful with their lap times. They can't be uber aggressive here, They're going to have to really try to be careful as Leclerc starts his flying lap time. Oh, he's bouncing like crazy there. The porpoising. The porpoising is really starting to affect here and show off here in around Imola. So Leclerc is around his timed lap. So Verstappen, sector 2 and 3, green and purple in the second and third sector. Oh no! So that was Norris now. Perez purple in the first sector as right now, quicker than Leclerc's time. So, and we've got a yellow flag. No, who's off? Oh, and it is Kevin Magnussen in the wall. And that will most likely bring out another red flag. So, yep, that is a yellow flag. Will it go to red? Yep, red flag. Session has been red flagged again. Fantastic. Oh, wow. I mean, you hate to see it. Kevin Magnussen doing really well, put in a good lap, but like I said, drivers are going to have to be careful. I know it's easier said than done. But regardless, so what time is it right now? 12:13. Okay, we got a bit of buffer room. I'm sure they'll definitely be done. So red flag it as it is, and the session will hopefully resume shortly, which I'm sure it will because they'll want to get going. He's able to drive the car out, obviously. Getting a big run-off area. Getting through the beachy area, making it way through back onto the track. And see, I think at this point as well, that the session's been red flagging, I think they should drop the red flag from here. I know they have to put out the red flag and it stops it and they have to set it and they have to resume at a certain time. But I think if the driver is able to pull out his car and able to return to the pits, that's when I think they should change it a little bit to kind of speed up the process because a lot of times with these red flags, I understand, again, if there's debris off the track, they have to clean up and stuff, but that should take 30 seconds max. Shouldn't have to red flag the session. Just put out a yellow flag.
But obviously, because the rule is now they're very strict on the very simple is stick on the red flag. Did a little full 360, and he stopped, and then so he didn't hit the barrier, but he was off for sure. I thought he had hit the barrier. That's when I thought when I saw the shot of him in the wall, I thought that he had hit the barrier and he was out. But no, he's able to, which is good enough. Resume, obviously, take spins out, brings out the red flag, but able to return. So. Yeah, unfortunate for Haas, but able to return and able to recover. So I think, which would be good, obviously, because he'll still be able to put in time. Didn't damage the car in any way. So well done for Kev Magnussen there. You love to see it. So one of my favorite drivers on the grid. As a Danish driver, represent, from the motherland. So resume at 18:18 local time. So 12:18. It is currently 12:15. So 3 minutes time from now, it will resume. So as we see here, F1 Access subscribers. I don't have that. So as it stands right now, I'm pulling up the live timing again. Session will resume shortly. All right, now we're going to try to hopefully, because obviously Q3 is still going to happen here. There's a replay of Charles Leclerc bouncing all about here. Okay, somehow the Wi-Fi gods have blessed me and able to now properly load up my stream the way that I wanted to originally. So I've got, watching there, we've got the live leaderboard here as we go across, and it looks like cars are making their way back out onto the track. So I appreciate everyone's patience for this, but we've got the stream at the top quality as I wanted originally. And for whatever reason, clearly it was just Wi-Fi issues earlier, but it's all fixed now. Good to go. As the red flag is still out, flashing red, still waiting on things to open up again. It will resume at 12 in 1 minute time. And now this is when my laptop is going to start to go up like a fighter jet, and maybe we'll start to have issues again. But I've got everything loaded up, so hopefully no issues persist. And for the remaining 8 minutes of this, 10, 15 minutes of the stream, we can just have, crisp Wi-Fi. That would be nice and clear. But so I appreciate everyone's patience with this and living through it. But Q3 is resumed, and cars are going back on track. So Norris is out. Perez is going out. Leclerc is in the garage along with Verstappen, Ricciardo, and Sainz. Obviously, Sainz is still in the garage because he's a car. But So Leclerc is making his way out onto the track along with Sergio Perez. So Max Verstappen still what? Sorry, that is Max Verstappen. I don't know why they have it. Sorry, that was my mistake. I thought that was Max Verstappen because Sergio Perez is already out on the track. So he's making his way out on the track. So clearly hasn't been updated, but he's not in the parking mode anymore. As 7 minutes and 48 seconds and counting was left here in Q3. Who will get pole position? Will it be Verstappen? Will Norris take pole position in the wet? Can Sergio Perez steal it? Who knows what will happen? This is just for the sprint race tomorrow. But again, the sprint race is massive this year because of the new point system. Getting pole position, that is huge because if they're able to get pole position, you're able to win the sprint race. That's an extra 8 points you can add on to the championship season, into your championship season. And that 8 points could be crucial down the line versus, having those extra 8 points when it comes down to, end of the season. So all right, 7 minutes ago, Alonso is along his timed lap here as we fly around the Autodromo Enzo de Nino Ferrari circuit with Mr. Fernando Alonso. As we can see here, look at the G's. It's mad insane amount of G forces they're facing the drivers and all the neck training they go through. Current tire is intermediate for everyone, obviously. It makes sense because the track is still very wet. But tomorrow's going to be bone dry. Like tomorrow will be bone dry. It'll be like, for the sprint race and also for Sunday's race as well. So not a lot of, again, we haven't had really a true, there's Alonso spinning out, and that is his lap done. He was running pretty well, purple in the first sector, obviously being the first one on track, but that is his lap over, and he'll have to take another charge at it. Here's Magnussen, green in the first sector, purple in the second sector, looking really strong, having to fight through the slower Alonso. And looks like he's still going fast. Green in the middle sector as Bottas goes purple in the sector 2. Flying pretty strong, passing Alonso now is Magnussen, looking to get past. Now Bottas green in the second sector as Norris goes purple in the second sector. Running strong in P2. Magnussen crosses the line. Where is he going to finish? Minute 30:35. So not bad. Purple in the third sector for Magnussen. Alonso goes second fastest. Bottas goes second fastest with a 1:34.39. Norris crosses the line. Where is he going to cross the line? He's going to go first fastest with a 1:29.968. And Daniel Ricciardo obviously going fast. And Charles Leclerc with a 1:28.778. So now things are being updated here. Obviously, it's a little bit quicker in there versus here. But so Leclerc purple in sector 2. He's past the line. He's got a 1:28.778. Purple in both the second sector and the third sector. So a great lap from Charles Leclerc, showing the pace. Verstappen only green in the first 2 sectors. Can he pull off a great third sector to beat out Charles Leclerc for a provisional pole here? As it stands right now, Charles Leclerc is on provisional pole with a 1:28.778. Max Verstappen is going to cross the line second quickest with a 1:28.798. So look at that, 20 milliseconds, 20 thousandths of a second there, the difference between Leclerc and Verstappen. Very close between the two. I wouldn't say championship rivals because Russell's P2 in the championships, but I would say they're rivals for sure. They're going to get there. It's a rivalry that people are trying to push, and I'm not fully into it because it's like, realistically, Verstappen is P5, P6 in the championship right now. Like he's very slow behind. So yeah, he's very far behind in the championship. Alrighty, Norris goes third fastest on his next lap, 1:29. Verstappen, purple in the first sector, green in the second sector, 1.160. He's flying much quicker this time, beating Leclerc's sector 1 time. And again, we have a yellow flag. Oh, another driver is off, and that's looks like, I don't know, it didn't show. Maybe it was Magnussen again, off on the side there. Looks like some issues there, but a yellow flag sector 3, so Verstappen is going to have to halt his time here. And he's going to have to reduce his delta by a major amount here. Who are they? Who is off here? Who is off? Verstappen goes quickest with a 1:27.999, and that was even. I don't think he slowed down. Did he slow down? And that is Valtteri Bottas getting out of the car. Oh, you hate to see it. That is unfortunate. So and red flag. That's another red flag. I should have betted on the over. Oh, the car's going. The car's running. The car just kept moving. It just didn't stop. So that's fair. The car kind of just was slowly rolling. What did he hit? What is? Oh, that's just a head barrier. That's what I was like. What is that in front of his car? And then realized it's his head barrier. So that's the marshal. He's just on the grass. Red flag. As it stands right now, Verstappen is quickest with a 1:27.999. So I think the question is, did he slow down? I don't know if he did or not. I mean, he hit green in the second two sectors, but he's 7/10 clear of Leclerc's time. I don't know if he's that's going to be investigated potentially as a potential, because under the yellow flags, you have to reduce your speed by a lot. So the question is, did Verstappen, also he kind of went off track there. That's got to be a time deleted. That's got to be a lap deleted, probably. Yeah, his lap will definitely be deleted because he definitely quarter cut there. So that's going to be investigated as a potential if his lap will be deleted or not. I don't know if that was on the previous lap or if that was just on the replay after the session had been red flagged and he just didn't want to take the turn there. But that'll still be a question. And another red flag means another stoppage. So let me see. Another 5 minutes and this will be resumed. Cars again will go back into the garage for another 5-ish minutes and then be back out. So a lot of these streams again are going to be super long, I guess, because of but it's good though. We got the stream up running properly. It's nice. It's running full steam now, which is nice. You'd love to see it. So cooling the tires a little bit there. Soft tires. The old injured tires. He's good. They're checking the tires. Checking the tires. They're taking the front wing off of Charles Leclerc car, so that's interesting. Oh no, don't start to lag, please. There's like 3 minutes left in the session. Just please work. Oh, Bottas just went off. I guess he had an issue with his car, I guess. So we'll have to... So yeah, this is a replay of Verstappen going off, and then this is the lap of him. Is this where he cuts the corner? No, it's just the yellow flag. Right, if he slowed down or not, that's the question. Because I don't think he really slowed down, so that's going to be potential if he's going to be investigated. There's the green flag mark where he can continue. So again, it's a quick yellow sector. So the question is if he slowed down enough for that to not affect his time or for them to not be penalized for that. So yeah, and the stream is just okay. We're just going to close this because this is now starting to not work so much, but we will for now just go with this and just keep this open for now because this is still running. So as it stands, red flag still for qualifying here. Still waiting on no update on any changes here. the yellow flag, so he's good. Yeah, no, I think with that, like what you're saying there as well, what you're saying, Jake, if you're probably listening, just watching this. Yeah, no, I can't really listen to the stream because I don't want to, but yeah, I think he did lift just enough because I think similar to what, like, I want to say this in the game, but in the F1 game, if you get a yellow flag, you just have to reduce your pace, and then it will say green flag is clear. So it's not a massive full-on yellow flag. It was a short yellow flag. So he lifted just enough, and then he sped up again because I did see the green flag. It was the yellow flag on his left, and then the green flag was flashing, like the green light was flashing, so he's good to go. So yeah, he is safe there. I think he's fine. With his time, he won't be penalized for that. But as it stands, again, the red flag is still out, and hopefully the session will resume shortly. So yeah, I think, yeah, you're right. Yeah, he is okay. So he is okay there. So yeah, he was 1.2 seconds. Yeah, so yeah, I knew he was very high up on Leclerc there. So he was on a bit of a screaming lap there for sure. Again, the Red Bull has a quick car. Like, again, qualifying is not an issue. For Red Bull, it's just the racing, really. It's the races that is the bigger issue, and that's really the big topic this week is can Red Bull, finish a race fully? Are they going to have any issues going forward? Have they fixed the reliability issue with all the fuel lock, the fuel pump, the fuel leak issue, any related to fuel issues? It seems they have fixed it, or Christian Horner said they have fixed it, but again, only time will tell when the race happens Sunday, in 2 days from now. So. Yeah, there is a lap of so that is Verstappen going off there. No, sorry, that's Sergio Perez skipping over the beat there. So that was not Verstappen, that's Sergio Perez going across there, doing a little off-roading there. So off-roading, and let's go back to the live session here. Red flag as it stands. Oh, I have to. Oh, what time is it? It's 12:31. Oh, would you just get over qualifying? I have things to do. I have people to see. So I think we underperformed as a team today. Lewis Hamilton, I will just say this, and again, I'm not being hated, but I think what he does is he goes with the mindset is like, we win as a team, we lose as a team. Where I think if something that, like, maybe say for example he personally did, it's more of like, oh, it's a team thing, because we win as a team and we lose as a team, and that's fair as well, because anytime that he makes a mistake, or someone in the pit wall makes a mistake, you win, lose as a team. You shouldn't individually blame, which I think is a good mindset to have, because I think sometimes his quotes are misrepresented. People just say like, oh, he's just he's complaining, he's being like a little like crybaby, he's being like crybaby Hamilton. But I think that sometimes it's a valid point where he's making, where actually as a team we didn't perform together, because as a team you're supposed to collectively work as one unit, and if someone doesn't, either it's him, a mechanic, Toto Wolff, somebody that makes a mistake, some type of error, even if it's a driver error, you win and lose as a team, and that's why they have the success that they do. So, as there's Dr. Helmut Marko. So, looking on at Max Verstappen's car as the red flag still goes on, still waiting for whatever. Again, because of Verstappen, because the car got stopped, they have to take the car off the circuit, which is taking a little bit longer. If Valtteri Bottas was able to get to the pits at least, we would definitely be resuming racing here, and Q3 would be pretty much over. But as it stands, we're still waiting. So waiting on the world to change. Yep, and there is the car right there on top of the flatbed truck. There is Valtteri Bottas making his way on in the truck home, back to the garage. So I'm sure Q3, yeah, he sticks his hand out the window. Session resume at 8:38. So in 4 minutes from now. Sorry, 18:38, not 8:38. 18:38. So at 6:38 p.m. their time. So evening. As we see George Russell talking with the media. Christian Horner looking on. So, I mean, as it stands right now, Verstappen is the quickest man on track and proving to be so far with a great lap versus Leclerc. But Norris is up there as well. Magnussen doing really strong. P4, Alonso P5, Ricardo P6, Perez, Bottas, Vettel, and Carlos Sainz obviously P10, not setting a lap time. But as it stands, he will start P10 for Sunday's race. So. Yeah, 5 different teams in the top 5 positions. You'd love to see it. So.
Session will get back underway in 3 minutes' time. 8 drivers now to contest the fight for pole position. Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Magnussen, Alonso, Ricardo.
Yeah, we've only got 8 drivers actually because Bottas is out as well. So Bottas will most likely move down to P9. Vettel will set a quicker time if he can, which I'm assuming he will be able to. But session will resume again at 18:38 local time, which is just in 2 minutes as cars are going to get ready to. Yeah, so Max Verstappen is going to roll out. And wait, oh, there it is. Ooh, close contact between with the other Ferrari there, just pulling out as it looks like the Red Bulls potentially wanted to go in succession. But yeah, it's always a battle to get out in front. Track position is key, even in qualifying. Where do you want to end up in the queue? So as it stands right there, clock will start soon as Q3 will begin soon, or will resume soon. So. Appreciate everyone that has tuned in throughout the hour and 36 minutes in counting that we've been streaming, or I've been streaming. So it's been a long time to get the stream up and running properly, but it's been working here and there. Early time it was just struggling, but it's now much, much stronger now. So. So now with both McLarens in Q3, which is good after a poor performance in Australia, as Will Buxton is talking about. But I honestly think that if Leclerc can, I have a feeling that Leclerc can challenge Verstappen for a solid lap here. I think both cars really are the top 2 contenders for pole positions, one of the two. I mean, as much as that sounds cliche, it's like, oh, sure, like, no, like, of course one of the 2 drivers is going to get it, but... So Verstappen is the first one on the track, most likely. There's okay, it's 12:38, so the session will resume now. 18:38 local time. So yeah, there's Verstappen at the top of the grid there, in front of the grid, and as cars start to roll out, and we've got a green flag. Yeah, very dicey there between Verstappen and Leclerc as he kind of stopped him from going out as he had a bit of a slow start, and Leclerc tried to sneak by there, trying to get out the first one on track, but no, he's going to have to sit behind Verstappen here as both drivers will go for their out lap and then obviously their time lap as 2 minutes and counting. So most likely you're going to get 1-2 laps in here maybe if you're lucky. Because again, the latest you can cross the line is before the checkered flag. So 2 minutes ago here, so that's going to be 1:36. Yeah, I think they can get. No, actually, they're only going to get one lap in here. They're only going to get one lap in here. I don't think, because by the time they finish their lap, because they're going to need a time lap of a minute. And yeah, no, I don't think they'll. Maybe, yeah, I don't think 2 minutes to go here. So yeah, no, they'd have to cross the line with like 1:30 something. Well, actually, technically, hold on. No. There's definitely not a minute of time. Yeah, they're gonna have one time here. This is one lap. This is it. One lap for pole position. Verstappen complaining, "I have no grip, mate." I think it's funny. He says the word "mate" like he's British, but he's from the Netherlands. I don't know. Okay, here we go. One lap for pole position. As Verstappen starts his time lap, it is a super wet track, super slippery. Verstappen was complaining of grip. Here it is through the first sector. Leclerc crosses the line. Again, so Verstappen's going to finish first here. He's cross line first and just hope for the best time. So, and we got a yellow flag. And he's out. There it is. As it stands, Verstappen will be on pole position with Charles Leclerc in P2, Lando Norris third, Magnussen fourth, Alonso fifth, Ricciardo sixth, Perez seventh, Bottas, Vettel, and Carlos Sainz as it stands. So really unfortunate because you hate to see it. I mean, Leclerc was possibly challenging for pole position as well as Verstappen. Again, we want to see that ending, but we didn't get to see. So as it stands right now, session will not be resumed, as again, most likely it is with under 2 minutes to go, 30 seconds to go. They will not resume the session. Lando into the wall, qualifying over. So Max Verstappen is on pole position. But the first pole for Max Verstappen in the 2022 season. So possibly a thing to change again. Now, again, tomorrow and Sunday will both be dry as bone. So yeah. No, he's in the wall, bounced off right there. That is, yeah, it's a convenient. It's a bit of a convenient flag, because a red flag for him, because he stays P3. So again, not saying he did it intentionally, because no one would do that. So, but unfortunate for him, because potentially he could have taken pole position. Who knows? So, not saying he would have had the pace for it, but so as it stands right there. Q3 is over. Verstappen is on pole. All right, well, thank you guys for watching along with me. That will do it for today's stream. It has been an hour and 43 minutes, and I have some things to go do. But thank you very much, guys, for listening or for watching all through. We will see you again Sunday morning, early 8 a.m. for our pre-race show before the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, which will go at 9 a.m. Sunday. And again, don't forget follow us on Twitter at Outside the Cockpit. Outside the Cockpit for Twitter updates for the sprint race tomorrow and for the race on Sunday. Thank you guys very much. Have a great day and enjoy your Friday, because it's Friday. Broadcast.